So, continuing from where we left off last time in the video, I prepared to invade Egypt, and yeah, as you can see, I immediately invade them. So all I needed to take was just like the 1-star provinces that were left behind from the previous invasion, and so yeah, it went pretty well, and like, well, it only took me like 2 turns, and yeah, that was done. So now all the territory I needed over on this side was done and like completely over with. Okay, I didn't need to worry about it anymore. And I moved everyone back to Cairo, and I even returned those previous provinces to Egypt back to them because, you know, I didn't need them, so why not, right? And I couldn't puppet them either, so I didn't need them anymore. And so I moved everyone back to Cairo, okay, assimilated the new provinces, and then moved everyone back to the border with Turkey. And you know, I split my troops up, you know, making sure that like I fit all the borders. And this time, the Turkish and like, well, the border with me and Turkey had grown mainly because the territorial changes, as you can see here. There's way more border now because of, you know, because I conquered Iraq, right? And so I started moving troops from all sides. So I'm like lining the borders everywhere, because this is gonna be like an attack from one side in Anatolia, one side in Syria, one front in like Iraq, and then one front in Iran. So 4 different fronts, if you could call it that, right? So this is an attack from all sides. And to make it even worse, I get Georgia to attack them too. So now they're being attacked on literally all sides, even the north. So I just like rush in from all sides, from Iran, from like, you know, you know the AI can't defend this. Like, you know, they basically cannot, right? So thing is, the AI will like suck at fighting on this big of a front. That's the thing. Like the AI in this game, it can only like focus on one front at a time, like literally, like 1 or 2 fronts at a time. That's it, if it has enough troops also. So here, yeah, Turkey just like collapsed. They were able to stop like the push in the north, but everywhere else was just a freaking mess. Or for them, not me. Everywhere else for me was just a very clean, nice, sexy invasion, right? So it was going amazing. And soon enough, I was able to literally take everything I needed. And I even took extra provinces too. So I was like, okay, this is going to be annoying to return. But I moved everyone back to Ankara. I moved the others back to like 1 province in Iraq. You know, because the reason I'm gathering my army, right, is because like when you move troops in this game, it takes movement points, yeah? And like if you put it all into 1 army, it takes way less movement points, is what I've realized. Anyways, Ukraine randomly attacks me, and they don't make peace the time when I ask them to. I'm number 1 in the world, by the way, but still, they don't. So I'm forced to now just start recruiting troops to defend, and it's like, you know, it's annoying, right? Ukraine decides to stop and plunder, because of course that's what peak AOC2 AI, am I right, guys? It's like seriously, it's just like that, right? So then I start recruiting people and like fighting them on a recruiting basis, but I have 100,000, and Russia just invades them. I think that may or may not have had something to do with this war. Anyways, I start invading them in return. And I just start taking as much territory as well, because I was sick of them, right? I was just like, I'm going to get you guys back for this. So this goes well. And then I just puppet Belarus from them, because, I mean, I think about it, right? I think like, you know, maybe they could get more territory from Russia, and then I could puppet Belarus. But then I'm like, you know what, fine, I'll settle for this. And I puppet Belarus. So now I have a puppet stranded in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of like Russia and Ukraine. So, yeah, that happened. And the Ukrainians got beaten, right? And then I assimilated the rest of Turkey. For some reason, I forgot to do this. I don't know why, but I forgot to do this. And I started recruiting from Kuwait. Why am I recruiting from Kuwait? So that I can surely just depopulate them. Like, this is one of the rare times you guys will see me depopulate a place. So, because I'm trying to like milk it for everything it's worth. So I recruit like 50,000 people from here, right? Just 50,000, and then puppet Kuwait, with Kuwait City. So now they won't ever rise up ever again. So then I use those troops all of them to line the border with Afghanistan, and I prepare to invade them. So now we're going into, well, during Alexander's time, this would have been Bactria, I believe. Yeah, oh, was this no? Was it? No, shit, no. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a terrible. No, not Alexander. Fuck, that's no. This is the Achaemenid Empire as well. My bad. Okay, that was really dumb because Bactria was way after. Anyways, I realized that China has taken over Pakistan. Okay, something that, like, I don't know, closer to real life than we all kind of thought. Anyways, point is, I now have to fight China for Pakistani territories, and so yeah, that it was at this point I realized I didn't care. I just kept invading Afghanistan, and now I knew that I had them beat basically because in this game, right, the AI, like, you have to fight them only for a couple turns, and like if you single-handedly beat all their attacks, you basically know when they've run out of money because they barely raise any new troops to fight you back, and like they're just like raising tens of troops. So I was able to take over all of Afghanistan, and like I didn't bother going for the last 3 provinces. I didn't want to, and I annexed the rest of Iran too, because again, why bother conquering it when you can just annex it? It's way easier, right? Yeah, but why not? Why waste time, really? And so I took time assimilating all these provinces. It's the most annoying part of the game, man. But it's what we need to do because we need recruiting. We need places to recruit from. Anyways, I decided I'm gonna fight China last because again they're like the bigger nation. So I decided to just like take over the territories that I needed from Central Asia, and so I just annexed them from Turkmenistan because I could do that just because I could. And then I realized I wouldn't be able to just annex it from like Kazakhstan. And I realized that Russia's there. Russia could help me in the invasion, but Russia was at war with Austria. And like they puppeted Slovakia for some reason, but yeah, anyways, that's besides the point. Then they puppeted Austria too, so now they have 2 puppets. Okay, that was going on. I just witnessed that. But now that they were done with the war, I decided that maybe it was time to, well, eventually I'd attack Kazakhstan, right? That was the plan. And I started moving troops all the way to the Kazakh border, and I even built fortifications. Like this is something I rarely ever do because, I'm constantly on the offense in this game. But yeah, for once I actually built fortifications, So then I started recruiting from Iran, moving troops to the actual offensive front line, where I'd just be attacking like near the Caspian Sea. That's all I really needed. And so I got put into attack from the north, and then I attacked from the south. And so I just mass attacked from here. And like just as I predicted, the Kazakhs did start attacking through the border we shared, but it didn't work. None of them worked. And still they didn't make peace, even though they're being invaded by Russia and me. And so I just started offensive from the border that we did share, the one which I built fortification on. So that was all for nothing, guys. Yeah. And I decided to annex the last bit of territory that I needed, because honestly, why go further? And this time they best well knew to freaking accept the deal, because sometimes you gotta invade to like teach this bitch ass AI about why they should not reject the deals. Anyways, then after that was the lengthy preparation, or well, not that lengthy, but the preparation for the war with China. And this one's going to be a big one on a big front too. And China, I think, was at this point, I was number 1, right? And they were just like number 2. So it wasn't going to be an easy fight, yeah. So I decided to take out the nearby neighbors, and so I give Kyrgyzstan some of the provinces because they became my puppet. And then I shift the troops around, get them all in like position for this, right? And I also make sure to take the one province of Tajikistan that I need to, but that would be, I keep that later. I realize that I need someone else to attack China with me. And so I plan on getting India, but then Turkmenistan interrupts that shit. So I then proceed to just tell them to back off when they leave. So that works out in my favor. But then I realized that China's kind of dominating this entire place, and I gave India a bunch of money, I think, because to like ally with them, I guess. And then I realized that I need to compete somehow. But then I realized that China was already at war with like Russia, like a massive ass war. So I got a whole bunch of people that just declare war on them, and so now China was completely in chaos, right? I wouldn't have. I honestly I would not have been able to do this. But then it went a little off plan because Russia started invading into Pakistan, which is not what I wanted, by the way. What I wanted was for like the stalemate to happen so that then I could go. But kind of did not go according to plan. So I was like, okay, screw this. I can't just wait it out any longer. I need to go for this, right? Go for this quickly. And so I quickly started taking all the way down into Pakistan. And the thing was, Russians, they started taking territory too, but China started pushing them back. And every time China pushed them back, I'd step in right immediately. Like, my troops would just step in right immediately to fill the gaps, you could say. And so I would just start pushing into Pakistan territory right, like, immediately. And then, yeah, it was going well, really, because China was, like, really depleted by this point. And I knew I'd have to invade extra because there's no way. Like, China is like the second most powerful country in this game right now. So I need to like take a substantial amount of territory before they ever make a peace deal with me. That too, the territory I need. And I got all the territory. I tried, but of course, as expected, it would not work. And so I was just like, screw this. I'll just invade into India as well, into their Indian territories. And even... so then it was just a scramble. It was just a scramble for territory. It wasn't even a war, really. And over here, this took a while. Eventually, I felt like I'd gotten enough of a star points, and I think I did eventually. So I just like got stuff on the border, and then I was sort of able to do it, but just barely lacked it. And so I just invaded a couple more provinces, just to make sure that this was locked, just to make sure it was set. And yeah, safe to say, I got everything I needed. So I left with all the time. I think I even left with some extra territory too. So yeah, I eventually I ended up winning. I took the extra territory mainly to make sure that I did not miss any territory, or else I'd have to wait 40 turns and then do it again. So after getting all that territory, I decided to just give it back. I think, no, what did I do? Oh yeah, I brought back Pakistan, my bad. Well, yeah, I brought Pakistan back to life, and then I proceeded to carefully exchange territory to give it to them, right? And like, they had some territory up in the north as well, which also was given. And so now Pakistan's borders look really awkward, where there's just like a north and south Pakistan instead of what normally is. And then I saw, like, I looked and I realized Tajikistan was left. And so this time I was just like, screw this. Let's just go to war. Who cares at this point? Take it over in like 10 seconds and then puppet the rest of it because I really don't need the extra provinces. And so all that's left is a part of Jordan, which I forgot how they got it, but yeah, I took it back immediately. So I assimilated the provinces that I forgot to. Or not that I forgot, I just never got to doing them, right? And so what did I do afterwards? Oh yeah. And then I remembered that I had still a massive swaths of territory to give back. And so first thing I did, Montenegro. I said this last episode, but I let go of it, and I did. Next one was giving Turkey back their territory. I felt kind of bad for Turkey at this point because I'd taken so much from them. So I just gave them back their provinces, which was quite a lot to give back, actually. So it's kind of annoying, kind of sad to do all this. Meanwhile, Uzbekistan declares war on me. I don't know why. The AI in this game is super fucking... It's Einstein, okay? It's fucking Einstein, but yeah. And then I decide to, instead of giving it to Turkey, I just give the rest to Syria. Because they're my puppet, so it works. And then, because they'd form an eventually usable buffer and all. And then I decided to re-release Iran, but only give them these the northern slither of that part. And then I give them one province, and just like that, I fixed the borders, really, and make sure that no extra territory was taken. And I realized this one province was here too. And so I just decided to, well, straight up abandoned the province because I was just like, screw this. I don't want to give it to anyone else. And just like that, I formed the Macedonian Empire. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed.